book can take you anywhere. Turn the pages and you'll be there. Come on, join us, you'll see. We're reading with Carylee.
Hi, friends. Welcome to another Read with Carylee. I am so happy that you are here to join us. And we have a very special guest today. But before we get to meet our special guest, I want to make sure that you don't miss any of the guests that we have coming through. So make sure you hit subscribe and ring that bell so that you can find out what's going on with Read with Carylee, and you don't want to miss any of our author friends that are coming by. And today, our author friend is Miss Melissa Collesano.
Hi.
Melissa, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you here. So you have a very, very cute book, Phoebe McKeeby's Garden Apartment. Mm-hmm. So I really don't want to get in the way of anything. I want us to get right to the story and we can chit chat later. So okay. I'm going to turn it over to you. Oh, hold on. I did forget one thing. Miss Melissa, where are you joining us from today?
So I am from southern New Jersey.
Oh, okay. So you are right up the Beltway, and I go through New Jersey all the time growing up in New York. But, you know, like I said, I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get into Phoebe McKeeby's Garden Apartment. Take it away.
And I brought my special girlfriend over here, Miss Phoebe McKeeby. So she's going to join us while we read. Okay?
Awesome.
All right. Hello. My name is Phoebe McKeeby. I love my new apartment. I moved in just last week. I live up on the second floor. The address is 10 Wall Street. Pictures are hung up on the walls, the bed's made with new sheets. I moved around the furniture. The inside's now complete. Looking out my window, I noticed down below what used to be a garden was nothing more than stones. I wondered for a moment of what it could have been. A canvas full of color, with style built right in. Maybe I could change it with some hard work and some care. I got my coat and walked downstairs to see just why it's bare. This hardly was a garden. It was filled with dirty stones. I think I saw a worm in there. Could he be there alone? My goal is not a hard one, just to make my garden better, to bring back all its beauty and last through any weather. I wonder how I'll manage. Just where will I begin? This project needs much planning of how, what, where, and when. I sit down on my stoop with a pencil and a pad and begin to write down all my chores. Let's see, what can I add? I'll have to keep my focus. Preparing is my task. I will put my plan in motion using first, next, then, and last. Chores for my garden. First, I'll clean the area, removing any litter. Next, I'll pick out all the weeds and gather them together. Then I'll rearrange my shrubs. I'll place them in a row. Last, I'll level out the ground and sprinkle down new stones. Voila! I think I've done it. I take off my dirty gloves. My garden's neat and pretty, a job I'm proud thereof. But what was not expected, and to me, a big surprise, when I came home from the school the next day, there it was before my eyes. A flower bed of vibrance. There were lilies, mums, and herbs. My humble little garden was now really quite superb. Just how could this have happened? Blooming buds in sets of 3? Who could be responsible? For sure it wasn't me. Was it Mother Nature sending gifts from all around? Perhaps it was a fairy dusting magic on the ground. My guesses run in circles. I'm perplexed and wish I knew, for I'd like to thank this person. I just haven't got a clue. Oh, this beautiful new garden, a wonder unforeseen. 'Twas then that I looked up and spotted Mrs. Geraldine. Are you the one responsible? Did you help with my plot? She leaned out from her window. Oh yes, I helped a lot. But I was not alone in this endeavor, you must know. The one who's most responsible is Mr. Angelo. He's the one who planned it. He came forward with a plea. He summoned all the neighbors, then hoped they would agree. It's true, he said with vigor. I wished greatly for some aid. After witnessing all your hard work, my mind was clearly made, he said, bring in striking color, add a smidge of depth and height, then incorporate new plantings for a garden fixed just right. He knew his plan was reachable, though some might think it silly. He then called upon the eloquently spoken Mrs. Tilly. This used to be a garden of sheer splendor, Tilly did say. It housed the prettiest flowers. Neighbors couldn't stay away. Its unfortunate bad weather played a part in its demise. But if we pulled together, we could make this garden thrive. With this, we all moved forward. We learned much from Miss Louise, a gifted horticulturist who cheered, this will be a breeze. The design included violets. Mr. Richard brought them in. He planted each into the ground, a job done with a grin. My new neighbors gathered round me as happy as could be. They told me why they did this and cleared up the mystery. As we finished with the project, we were proud of what we'd done, a creation of love and labor. In the end, we all had won. Now, to honor all your patience, creativity, and flair, we bestow this gift upon you as a symbol that we care. So when a good deed you decide to do, nice people will appreciate and help you too. From this, I learned a motto that I've taken as my own. Right, Phoebe? You'll accomplish more together than you'll ever do alone. The end.
With Carylee.
Thank you so much for that. And that is a wonderful motto to have. we try to do so much alone sometimes, especially as adults, and sometimes even as children. I know some of my little friends may be able to say that they always want to do some things alone, but it is so much more fun and so gratifying when we can all do it together.
So true.
Yes. So I see that this story is kind of based on a true story. So
Mhm.
could tell us why you really wanted to bring this story forward?
Yes, because this was really my first. I'll show you the picture here. This was actually the garden with the flowers. And, you know, because I because it was true and because I felt so special, I said, this is something that other, not just children, grown-ups should hear, that this the goodness is around us, the generosity and the surprises are right within us. And it's a real fun story to share with everyone, especially when I show them the garden, because I say
Uh-huh.
this really is something that happened. Wow, it really is. Yeah, I got surprised just like that.
Well, speaking of surprises, you are a surprise all on your own. So you used to be a former um, NBA and NFL dancer before, taking this venture out as a children's author. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, I cheered from the second grade on with, in the littler leagues, and went on to cheer in college, and then went for it um, on the professional level, and just absolutely had a blast. And it taught me a lot about performing and meeting people and interacting with others. I absolutely loved it. When I was doing this, we even did stay in school promotions where we would go around, and it's funny because I'm a teacher. And
Okay.
at the time, I think I was just finishing up schooling or maybe looking for my first job, but we would go into schools and say, stay in school, stay off drugs. So we would go with some of the players, and
Uh-huh.
boy, was that fun. I loved that because again, I was dancing and doing meeting people with the players and other dancers. Then I was actually meeting the children who I might one day be teaching. So it melded the two.
Oh, that is awesome. So you have such a wide-ranging background, and I see that you put a lot into the back of the book. You don't just, we didn't just end the story there. You showed the garden, and you tell us about some of the things that children could find in the back of the book. And I'll get my copy here.
Okay, sure. I knew what I would want as a teacher or as a librarian. After a book is read, sometimes you want a little assistance, a little aid, something to chat with the children about. Being a mom myself, same thing with what I would want with the children. And I also did some homeschooling, believe it or not. And this was before COVID. I did actual homeschooling with my little ones. So this is called the reflection section, and it focuses on the actual character traits. So my books are about character traits, and this was generosity. So it talks a little bit about the character trait, how you can be generous, what to say if somebody is generous to you, maybe what you can say back to them or send them an email, an old-fashioned letter in the mail. I went to get stamps the other day with my children. Ooh, they had such cute ones, little circles of different volleyball. I said, I've never seen a stamp in the shape of a circle, right? So, you can give a handshake, you can smile, give someone a hug. Well, now I have to give a fist bump, I guess, and then give a hug. We don't have to be careful, but and then think about ways that you could be generous towards other people. So I give you something to think about, because you might already be doing these things, or it
Yeah.
could be fun little project to do too. And then I included a little glossary of some words, which is nice. If you didn't understand a word that I said, then I have the definition of that word. So that's also great for teaching and supplemental work.
Glossary right here.
Yep, that's right. So it's teacher approved, librarian approved, and mommy approved.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, there's just so many other things in this book, but one other thing that I'll talk about is you are not just the writer, you're not just the author, you're the illustrator. Oh my gosh, like you are just talent overload right now because these illustrations are so beautiful and they really bring the book to life.
Thank you. Yes, I always loved being creative, and I always loved drawing, and I said if I'm going to write this book, then I wanted to be the one to share my vision of exactly what happened. So I did. I illustrated it. Thank you.
And that is such a fantastic work of art. And I love the way you just did everything, and especially Phoebe right there sitting next to you. I love her hair.
She's got beautiful waves, doesn't she?
So full and whimsical. Like she is just a delight. So, you know, from this book, and you know, you illustrating, and you know, you being a teacher and librarian, what book inspired you when you were growing up?
So I actually loved little detective books.
Okay.
Anything that had to do with finding out at the end which is interesting as a librarian, and now I show the kids that when we're in the library and you want to go look for a book, it's like you're being a little detective. So maybe I knew somewhere deep down when I was little that I wanted to be a librarian. I'm not sure, but it's just always has been intriguing to me to start off and think, was I right or was I completely off base?
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember, you know, growing up, even like when I got into chapter books, like the Nancy Drew books and the Hardy Boys, those were books that were always my go-tos. So that is amazing. So, you know, and we can talk all day, but one of the reasons why, you know, I said in the beginning that you are, all of our authors are special guests, but you also have a YouTube show that you read books to children with. So if you could tell us just a little about that so that our friends can find you as well.
Absolutely. So yes, I started something called The Learning Zone with Melissa, and I feature independent authors from all around the world, which is amazing. And I have my Carylee that I've already done, both of your books, beautiful books, absolutely love them, which it's very fun for me to bring my spin as I'm reading to your love. Your labor of love. And I hope I always do my authors justice, but you never know what a reader is gonna bring to it, because you know, just being a librarian, and I'm around other librarians or mommies with story time, you know, everyone's got their own little flair. It's fun. So I try to take everything about me, the way I love to draw, or I danced, or I don't sing. I can fake it a little bit. I try to bring it all and stop for a minute and bring that book to life as I see it. Yeah. And it's been so much fun. I did a time lapse where I drew a gorgeous character on I have a 7-foot chalkboard in my son's bedroom. When I was teaching virtually, they said, "Where are you at school?" I said, "No, I'm actually in my son's room." But it's super, super fun to do. I took the character and I had it, and it shows you drawing that, which would, I think it took me 3/4 of an hour. But, you know, it's lickety split when you see it going quickly.
Yeah.
And that's a way that I could bring my artwork out through, you know, showcasing a book. So it's been a lot of fun. And I even have my pandemic pet, my little husky, Blue. She's in on the act, and she helps me when the mail comes and I get different books. She helps me pick out which book I'm gonna read.
Awesome. And I've seen her going behind you a couple times there. So you are just so talented, and I'm so glad that you were able to come and join us and read your book. And as you said, you know, you have read my books, Pretty Hair and Everyone Just Like Me, sorry, on your channel as well. And so, friends, you'll be able to see in the links below, and go and check out Melissa's YouTube channel as well. So thank you again for joining us.
Absolutely. I will come back anytime, and I'll look forward to your next book so I can read that one aloud too.
Absolutely. So thank you again, and thank you, friends, for joining us for another episode of Read with Carylee. You never know what talents we're going to find with our authors here. So be sure to join us next week for another episode. Make sure you subscribe and ring that bell. And we will see you next week. And always remember to grab a book and read. Have a great day. Thanks for watching another amazing episode of the Read with Carylee Show. We have amazing authors coming by every week. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. You don't want to miss a thing.